Hey guys, so in today's episode, we're going to be continuing our conversation about the superstars of the medicinal mushroom world. Today, we're talking about two of probably the hardest working mushrooms in all of the biz. We're talking about lion's mane and maitake. And why are these mushrooms so special? Well, number one, they're incredibly tasty gourmet mushrooms, but they're also incredibly powerful medicinal mushrooms. So we're going to be diving into that, talking about the benefits and what makes these two mushrooms so special. Also, if you watched last week's video, you know we did a giveaway and it was so much fun that we're actually going to be doing a giveaway again in this video. So we're going to be giving away a Try Mushrooms starter kit, which is 1 pack of Thrive 6, 1 pack of lion's mane, and 1 pack of cordyceps, along with a powerful handheld mixer so you can mix up all your mushroom elixirs and mushroom coffees. All you got to do to get in on this giveaway is click the link in the description of this video and enter your email address and you'll be in to win. We're going to be picking a winner at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, July 29th. So as long as you're in to win before that, you'll be eligible to win this awesome prize. One more thing, if you like mushroom content, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Also feel free to hit that like button. And if you have any questions about anything we're talking about, feel free to drop that in the comments below. So without further ado, let's jump into the discussion on lion's mane and maitake. Should we start again?
No, let's just keep it rolling.
Let's just keep it rolling?
Keep it rolling. We already have some people tuned in. And
awesome.
They're still watching, so they must be able to hear us.
Perfect.
I think. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Happy
Welcome
Friday.
back to FreshCap Friday Live,
Friday.
the official show for mycophiles, mushroom lovers, and the FreshCap family.
Yes, and today we're continuing our discussion on medicinal mushrooms. We're going to be talking about lion's mane and maitake. But first, we have some things to cover.
Yeah, so last week, like Tegan was saying, we were started talking about the superstars of the mushroom world, or like, you know, the big kahunas of the mushroom world, if you will. So last week we talked about cordyceps and chaga, which are two incredible mushrooms. And this week we decided to talk about, like you mentioned, lion's mane and maitake, who have the amazing distinction of being both medicinal mushrooms and incredibly tasty and wonderful gourmet mushrooms. So they are super special, great two mushrooms to put together and talk about. But like I said, first we have some quick items to talk about. So last week on YouTube, we did a giveaway of, and I don't have them here, but these beautiful little enamel pins. And all you had to do to get in on that giveaway is comment on the video. We had tons of people commenting, and the question we asked was, what is your favorite medicinal mushroom?
Yes.
And the runaway winner by a long shot, probably at least a 2-to-1 ratio, was lion's mane. So people love lion's mane, and we're going to be talking about that today.
Talking about it today.
Yeah.
Who was our winner? Do you remember the name?
Yes. So the winner was Jane. I don't remember the last name, Jane E, who commented, and I did comment back, Jane. So if you're watching this, please reach out to us and let us know the best place to ship you your prize. And not anybody can just email us and pretend to be Jane, because I'll get a pass code or something that you can put back on your comment and make sure it was actually Jane that won. So congratulations, Jane. We're waiting to hear back from you, and we can't wait to give you that pin. And also this week,
4 pins.
4 pins.
Yeah, pinza.
Right.
Pinza. Okay.
This week,
we have another giveaway.
We do, because that was so much fun. I love doing giveaways because we get so much wonderful reaction from people, so many comments. So this week we decided to do another giveaway. And what are we giving away, Tegan?
Ooh, why don't we open it and see? Shall we?
Shall we?
All right.
Shall.
This way. There we go. So we are giving away a little prize pack. It's called our mushroom starter kit. Whoop.
Yes.
Where we have a frother, a handheld mixer. We have a bag of cordyceps. We have a bag of Thrive 6, and of course, what we're talking about today, bag of lion's mane.
Yeah, so this is called the Try Mushroom Starter Kit. It is available on the website, but we're giving away this whole kit to one lucky person. So again, in order to win this prize, just comment on the YouTube video. Comment on the YouTube video if you want. You don't have to win the prize. It's always great if you like, comment, and subscribe. But there's be a link in the description or in the pinned comment, and you can go there, enter your email address, and you will be in to win this awesome prize of the Mushroom Starter Kit.
All right.
So,
excellent. And what day will we give that away?
We're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to give it away on Wednesday. So as long as you're in before Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern,
all right,
which is, then you'll be in to win.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Easy.
And one last thing I want to talk about. Look at this. I'm wearing this awesome shirt. It's got a spore print on it. One of my favorite shirts of all time.
Who makes these shirts? Someone in the mushroom community actually makes these.
Totally. So this was from Scott Mist, and he's got a site called Closet of Mysteries.
There you go.
I believe, which makes sense. It's kind of play on his name and closet. So he does a lot of cool designs, like this kind of stuff. I think it's just at Closet of, I'm doing this a lot. I think it's just at Closet of Mysteries on Instagram. But if you're watching this on YouTube again, I'll put a link in the description of the video. You can go check it out. He does cool stuff like this.
We love sport prints.
Love sport prints. So a shout out to Closet of Mysteries and thank you for this awesome shirt. Okay, should we get into the main topic?
Sure.
So we're going to be talking about, again, like I said, lion's mane and maitake. And the first mushroom we want to talk about today is probably my favorite mushroom of all time. It is lion's mane.
I'll do a close-up. This one is dried, so it does turn brown. When they are freshly grown, they are beautiful, white, little pom-pom tooth. You can see these little teeth. Maybe it's upside down. There we go. Just a gorgeous mushroom.
Yeah, so this one obviously is dried, so it's brown, but typically lion's mane is like this beautiful snowball-like formations. But what makes it special and what you might be recognizing right now is it's not your typical cap and stem mushroom. Lion's mane, its method of spore dispersal, instead of having gills where the spores come out, it actually grows these teeth. And you know, the teeth can get really elongated, and that's why it has the name lion's mane, because it kind of looks like a lion's mane.
Also called pom-pom.
Pom-pom, right?
Yep.
Because pom-pom mushroom.
Yep.
Also called a Yamabu shiitake, which, so yeah, it goes by a number of different names. Most commonly, the name is lion's mane. But the scientific name is Hericium erinaceus. And those two things, Hericium erinaceus, are really important when we start talking about the medicinal benefits of lion's mane. So we'll get into that in a second. But other things I wanted to mention about lion's mane is how it grows. So it's a saprophytic mushroom.
Which means
that it grows on, you know, dead or dying matter. So if you're going to find lion's mane in the wild, you're going to find it growing on dead logs. So in the forest, on dead logs, it'll grow in these beautiful snowball-like formations off of those logs. And when it's cultivated, it can be cultivated quite easily because it's a saprophytic mushroom. And it has a pretty simple life cycle, so it's grown on hardwood sawdust. And you can quite easily grow lion's mane fruiting body at scale, which is done for both culinary and medicinal purposes.
Now, say you want to grow these at home, you are just getting into mushroom growing. Where would lion's mane be on the scale of how easy it is to grow?
I would put lion's mane in level 1, absolute easiest, beginner-friendly mushroom. Sometimes you don't even have to try to grow lion's mane. I don't know if you remember, like sometimes we'll have blocks of lion's mane that I've forgotten about and I've just left them somewhere. Like I think I had it in the garage once, and you go check 2 weeks later and it's got a giant, beautiful lion's mane mushroom on it, you know, growing at 60% humidity or something. So it is an easy mushroom to grow. It's quite prolific, and yeah.
And incredibly tasty.
Yeah.
They're very versatile. They do grow bigger than this. This is actually quite a small one, but we've had them grow quite large. And you can cut it, slice it into steaks. I've seen people roast these. A lot of times people will chop it up and make crab cakes because it does have slight seafood taste. It's a very, very nice mushroom to use in any kind of vegan replacement recipes. So if you do have a chance to get your hands on some fresh mushrooms, definitely give them a try. Sometimes you can find them at local farmers markets, not typically in grocery stores, but if you have a grower in your area, definitely check it out, see if you can get some fresh lion's mane to cook up in the kitchen.
Yeah, a lot of people say it tastes like lobster, right?
Yeah.
Or it has that texture anyways, which it does. It's really nice. And yeah, like you mentioned, it doesn't have a great shelf life because it does bruise easily and stuff like that. So you don't often find it at grocery stores.
No.
But if you can find it at farmer's market, or even better, grow it yourself, it's an amazing culinary mushroom to have at home. But like I said, it's not just a culinary mushroom, right? Lion's mane is a super powerful, super popular, probably one of the most popular in the world right now, medicinal mushroom.
Yes.
And historically, so lion's mane has been used for a really long time, but historically it wasn't really used for what it's used for today. Historically, it was used for digestive issues, for gut issues, and also for immune support. But today, lion's mane is more so known as the cognitive mushroom, or the brain mushroom.
The brain mushroom, yeah.
Yeah, or what did you call it?
Nature's nutrients for neurons. Oh, that's hard to say.
Yeah, I can see why that one has really taken off. Nature's nutrients for neurons. But I guess to throw in another end, it's also known as a nootropic,
yes,
or a compound that is good for brain health, cognitive health. And there's lots of reasons for this, lots of studies still being done on this, but basically it still comes down to two compounds that are in the mushroom.
Also in the name of the mushroom.
So they are hericenones and erinacines. Haricinones and erinacines are found in lion's mane mushroom. And why are they so special? What makes them so amazing for brain health and all that kind of potential? Well, it's because they are able to stimulate something called nerve growth factor. Now, nerve growth factor is something that's naturally in our bodies, and it helps to protect nerves. It helps to even stimulate the growth of new nerves, hence the name nerve growth factor.
Yeah, and most people will think of nerve growth factor for neurological health, but it also has a broad range of other benefits, just keeping homeostasis in the body, so supporting cardiovascular health and metabolic syndrome.
Right, because you're obviously you have nerves in your brain, or neurons, right, which is why it has its cognitive benefits, but your nervous system goes through your whole body, right? And that's what nerve growth factor is there for. But interestingly enough, nerve growth factor is large. It's too large to pass the blood-brain barrier that allows certain compounds to go through and doesn't allow other compounds to go through. So nerve growth factor cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. But haricinones and erinacines are way smaller molecules, and they can cross the blood-brain barrier. So that is why they can help stimulate nerve growth factor in the brain, which is like really cool. It's really amazing. And again, there's probably like so much more research that needs to be done on this, but it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, and this helps to protect neurons and to grow new ones. So.
Right. So that's why so many people have, brain boosting benefits from lion's mane mushroom. But there obviously has been lots of studies done on this, which is really cool. A lot of studies done on mice, for example, where they show like improved for like brain injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. But there's also been studies done on people where they like eat cookies that have lion's mane mushroom powder in them over a period of a number of weeks, and then they take a bunch of test scores and show cognitive improvement, which is really, really cool. And if you're interested in those studies, we'll link to them in the description of this video.
Yeah, and those benefits are typically found with long-term use of lion's mane mushroom and continual use of lion's mane mushroom. So most of these studies will find that discontinuing use, you kind of go back to that baseline level where you were at before, but continuing use, you have these cognitive benefits.
Right, which is pretty cool.
So it's not just something you could take one pill, pop it, and you're good for months.
No.
It's something that you want to work into your daily routine.
Exactly. Which is the case for most mushrooms, natural products, adaptogens, right? They're these things that like work over time. Mm-hmm. But just to call it a couple of the studies, so one of the ones was a double-blind placebo-controlled study where subjects with mild cognitive impairment were given 4 250 milligram tablets of lion's mane 3 times per day. So basically, that's 3 grams of lion's mane per day, and subsequently showed significant improvement in cognitive function, which is really cool.
Yes.
And another study, the one I mentioned, where subjects were given cookies containing lion's mane mushroom, and this was for a period of 12 weeks. And the results showed, again, improvement in cognitive function and prevention of short-term memory deterioration.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll link to all these studies in the video if you're watching this on YouTube, and you can go ahead and check those out. But it's not just brain health that people use lion's mane mushroom for. There's also been research done on the mood boosting effects of lion's mane.
Yeah, so there have been studies with anxiety and depression, and they have found that with the use of lion's mane mushroom, they have seen decrease in anxiety and depression and increase in overall well-being. And this is thought of its ability, lion's mane's ability, to be a kappa opioid receptor agonist. So that is why it's thought to have these well-being improvements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So lion's mane, a fascinating mushroom, tons of cool medicinal benefits, but is also quite a tasty gourmet mushroom. So
very tasty.
Lots of people were saying on last week's video that lion's mane is their favorite mushroom. Mm-hmm. And there's a good reason for that. It's pretty darn awesome.
Yeah.
And it is probably one of the best-selling mushrooms right now by a long shot. Like if you go to Amazon and go find the best-selling mushrooms, they're all lion's mane mushroom supplements.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies that are selling lion's mane. It's incredible to see.
Yeah, so a lot more people are starting to learn about this thing, which is really, really cool. And you see it in coffee, and you see it in all sorts of other things. Actually, I have some in my coffee right now.
I know, I have Thrive 6, so I have some too.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's awesome. So I think, that kind of covers lion's mane. If you have any other questions about it, feel free to pop in the comments below.
Well, I know that before, in the beginning of this, you mentioned that it was used for gut health.
Right.
Right, so why don't we touch on that quickly?
Sure.
All right, so typically a lot of gastric upset and what are they called? Ulcers are caused by Helicobacter pylori, which is a type of bacteria. So it has been shown that lion's mane has been effective at reducing the H. pylori bacteria that is commonly associated with these gastric ulcers and digestive upsets.
Right, which explains kind of why lion's mane has been traditionally used for gut health.
Yeah. So any kind of gastric ulcers or chronic gastritis, you might want to look into lion's mane.
Yeah.
Could be beneficial.
And again, like there's lots of different compounds in lion's mane. Some of them are going to be, in the fruiting body. Some of them are going to be, use different extraction methods to get them out. Some are water soluble, some are not. So it's obviously a lot more complex than we're covering here. Again, we'll put all the links in this video and you can check it out. And again, lion's mane, I think the one thing you want to take away from this though is lion's mane is considered the mushroom for your brain. And it's because of these hericenones and erinacines, these really unique and interesting compounds that are found in lion's mane mushroom. So moving on to the next, one of my other favorite mushrooms. I say that for every mushroom, but Maitake really is one of those mushrooms because it's so incredibly delicious as a gourmet mushroom,
yes.
But again has these medicinal benefits. So
just like lion's mane, different benefits, but the same. Gourmet, medicinal. Yeah, you can use them both ways. Delicious to cook with.
Right, and Maitake actually, there is a pretty good chance you might find it at your local grocery store because it is, cultivated here. It's got a pretty good shelf life, and you might find it at the grocery store. So Maitake is a polypore mushroom. It's also another saprophytic mushroom, so it grows on dead or decaying matter. So you'll find it, typically if you find it in the wild, you'll find it at the base of trees. And it is also known as hen of the woods because it kind of looks like a hen. People sometimes get that confused with chicken of the woods, which is a totally different mushroom. But Maitake also sometimes called hen of the woods. But it was also historically called the dancing mushroom. And I don't know how true this is, but the story goes when samurais were in the forest, if they saw this mushroom, they would get so excited that everyone would get around and dance. Hence, it's called the dancing mushroom. And I would dance too if I found Maitake because it is amazing. It is a polypore mushroom. So it's not your typical cap and stem mushroom, and it doesn't have gills. It instead has pores. So it releases its spores through these pores, and it doesn't actually have gills. And Maitake can sometimes get quite huge, but it can also be cultivated in smaller amounts in bottles. So again, a delicious gourmet mushroom. If you've never tried Maitake, I'd highly suggest trying it out. It's got umami in it, which is, more about umami than me. I'm putting you on the spot here. But
the fifth taste, right? Is it fifth?
Yeah.
Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami.
Right.
I think of the 5 tastes. And umami it's like a savory, satiating. How would you describe it? It's just umami. I don't know.
Yeah.
Savory.
Savory? I don't know.
Like MSG. Just makes you want to eat more.
Right. There you go. Like MSG. Hard to explain. But yeah, Maitake's got that. But again, like we said, Maitake is gourmet mushroom, but it's also a powerful medicinal mushroom. So Maitake, like all medicinal mushrooms, has these polysaccharides, protein-bound polysaccharides, that are immunomodulators that support our immune system and that are responsible for a lot of these benefits, but come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. And one of the interesting ones in Maitake is something called diffraction. So this is a specific protein-bound polysaccharide in Maitake mushroom. And there's been lots of research on this mushroom, in particular for how it supports the immune system, but also how it supports the immune system for people who are going through chemotherapy or cancer treatment.
And helping to alleviate some of the side effects commonly seen and experienced in chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Like the hair loss, the nausea,
But it's also one of the mushrooms that's really high in beta-D-glucans, or just polysaccharides in general. So 35% or higher is typically found in Maitake, extracts of Maitake fruiting body.
So it's not just the diffraction that is available.
Right. I mean, there's lots of different, you basically go down the list. So they'll test all of these different fractions or different compounds and see how they're active against certain things or how they affect the body in certain ways. But they found diffraction in particular to be really interesting. So you can actually get just diffraction by itself, which is like a very specific extract of Maitake.
Yeah, and some of the studies focus on diffraction or M-diffraction in combination with fruiting body, powdered fruiting body.
That's a really good point. So yeah, a lot of those studies, what they do is they take the diffraction, but exactly like you said, they would put them in combination with just powdered maitake fruiting body.
Yeah. So you still have full range of compounds found. You're not just singling out one. So.
Yeah. So the other thing that would characterize maitake and what it's been used for and what it's been studied for would be its ability to maybe help blood sugar levels. Which is also really cool, and that links to all sorts of different things. So they've been, studies done in mice and rats where they've shown that diabetic mice, for example, had positive benefits from taking extracts of maitake mushroom. But they've also done studies in humans for PCOS.
Yeah, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Right. So I'll just read right from here. Explain. Yeah.
Well, I think in the majority of polycystic ovarian cases, it has some level of insulin resistance related to it. So the fact that maitake will help with this just fits because maitake helps to control, reduce, and improve blood glucose levels. So
right. So if those two things are related, it makes sense. And actually, in one study, ovulation was observed in 20 of 26 women given maitake extract. And the study continues to say, and 6 of 8 women who failed to ovulate after being treated with clomiphene citrate, which I guess is used for treating infertility, did so after being given maitake, and all 3 women in the study who expressed an interest in becoming pregnant were able to do so. So that's really cool. And again, I'll link to that study in this video as well.
Yeah, that's phenomenal because I think polycystic ovarian syndrome can be quite common.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So again, all sorts of medicinal benefits. Maitake, super interesting gourmet and medicinal mushroom.
If you get a chance to get your hands on some fresh maitake or lion's mane, definitely, highly recommend bringing it into your kitchen, looking up a recipe, or just being creative, seeing what you come up with. They're both delicious.
Exactly. So I think that kind of covers it. If we missed anything, if you're thinking, hey, I wanted to learn about this, or I want to know about this, be sure to let us know, and we'll follow up on it, or we'll at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And again, this is all stuff that we're finding studies, we're reading through them, understanding these mushrooms. Again, we're not medical doctors, we're not medical professionals.
We're not trying to be or pretend to be.
Yeah. So, obviously, if you're interested in using mushrooms or using medicinal mushrooms for some kind of specific condition, by far the best bet is always to reach out to your doctor or natural healthcare practitioner, because every situation is going to be different. And this is just information that we're gathering and sharing to keep doing our goal of spreading the magic of mushrooms. So, we hope by talking about these things, you can learn a lot, and then maybe you learn something new about mushrooms, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget about our fantastic giveaway this week.
Yes.
So we have lion's mane, Thrive 6, which includes maitake, and cordyceps we're giving away with our little handy mixer. So get in on that. The link will be below this video. Get in to win.
Yeah. Put the link in the description of this video. Super simple. Just enter your email address and then you'll be in to win randomly. Make sure you get it in before 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. And we'll pick...
What day is that actually? Wednesday?
July 29th.
29th? There we go.
I think.
So if it is past that date, this giveaway has already been done.
Yeah. And one last time, congrats again to Jane for winning the pins last week. So just reach out to us so we can get those to you. Yeah,
so thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we'll be back next week, when we are going to talk about...
Oh, man, we're on the spot now. We were going to talk about 2 other medicinal mushrooms.
What about... Are we going to talk about common or not so common?
Let's do that. Next week, we'll talk about the least common, but still interesting and important. I'm going to come up with a better title than that.
Because I know I've had some interest around enoki.
Enoki is a medicinal mushroom.
Because it is a medicinal mushroom, but not commonly thought of as a medicinal mushroom. So we could consider talking about that. What do you think?
I think next week we should talk about the most important medicinal mushrooms you've never heard of.
There you go. Enoki and mystery mushroom.
Okay.
Coming at you next week.
Sounds good. So we're signing off. Thanks everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.